Run water over a greasy pan, it beads up, slides off, and leaves the grease sitting there, smug. Now add 1 drop of soap, and that same water suddenly grips, lifts, and carries the whole mess down the drain. Nothing was scrubbed away by magic. A single, strangely shaped molecule did the work, quietly and fast. So let's slice a soap bubble open and watch it happen, one tiny step at a time. First, the standoff. Picture water and grease in the same pan, flatly refusing to mix. Pour oil into a glass of water, and it floats in stubborn golden blobs. Shake the glass hard, and the blobs simply reform. This isn't about stickiness or weight. It's a deep mismatch in how the two liquids are built, right down at the level of single molecules. To understand the fix, we first have to see why water, all on its own, simply cannot grab hold of grease. Zoom into water and you find tiny bent molecules, each one slightly positive on one end and slightly negative on the other. Opposite charges attract, so the molecules cling to their neighbors in a constant gripping huddle. Chemists call this being polar. Water is happiest when it's surrounded by more water. That clinging is its great strength for many jobs, but here it becomes the problem. A liquid this busy holding its own hands has no free grip left for oily grease. Grease is the opposite kind of molecule. Its long chains carry no charged ends, so there's nothing for polar water to latch onto. Chemists call grease nonpolar, or water-fearing. When water meets it, the water molecules just pull tighter toward each other and turn their backs, leaving the grease completely untouched. That's the bead you see rolling off a dirty pan. Two liquids, each loyal only to its own kind, with an invisible wall between them. We need a peacemaker. That peacemaker is soap, and its power comes from a split personality. Each soap molecule looks like a tadpole, a round head joined to a long, thin tail. The two ends could not be more different. The head is charged and it loves water. The tail is a plain carbon chain, and it behaves exactly like grease. One molecule, two opposite cravings, built into a single shape. That double nature is the whole trick. So let's meet each end, one at a time. Start with the head. It carries an electric charge, just like a water molecule, so the two are instantly drawn together. Drop soap into water, and the heads dive in happily, surrounded by the polar crowd they adore. Left to themselves, the heads would float there, content forever. But each one is chained to something the water cannot stand, and that tension, the head pulled in while the tail is pushed out, is exactly what sets the cleaning in motion. Now the tail. It's a long chain of carbon with no charge at all, so water shoves it away the same way it shoves grease aside. The tail is desperate to escape the water, but it has nowhere good to go until grease appears. To the tail, grease feels like home. So every soap molecule is now torn in two, its head yanked toward the water, its tail straining to flee from it. Give that tail a target and watch what happens next. Add grease and the tails finally get their escape. They burrow straight into the oily droplet where they fit right in, while the charged heads stay behind, poking out into the water. Picture pins stuck into a ball, all the sharp points buried, all the round tops facing outward. One by one, soap molecules plant themselves around the grease, tails inward, heads outward. The droplet is being quietly surrounded on every side, and it doesn't even know it's been trapped. Cover the whole droplet this way, and you've built a tiny sphere called a Micelle. Inside sits the grease, wrapped up snug. Around it stands a thick wall of soap tails, and facing the water is a smooth outer shell, made entirely of water-loving heads. The grease is now hidden in a sealed pocket, cut off from the world outside. From beyond that shell, this little ball no longer looks oily at all. As far as the water can tell, it's looking at a friend. This is the turning point. The Micelle's outer surface is now all charged heads, so the surrounding water finally has something it can hold. The polar grip that slid right off bare grease latches firmly onto this disguised droplet. The grease itself hasn't changed at all. It's simply been given a water-friendly coat. Thousands of these tiny spheres form across a greasy pan, each one a neatly packaged speck of mess, suspended in the water and ready to be moved. Now the easy part, turn on the tap and the flowing water grabs every micelle by its charged shell and sweeps it along. The grease, locked safely inside, has no choice but to go right along with it. What beaded up and refused to budge a minute ago now pours off the surface and vanishes down the drain. Scrubbing and warm water just speed things up, breaking big grease blobs into smaller ones so more soap tails can dig in faster. So here's the full slice, start to finish. Water clings to itself and ignores grease. Soap arrives wearing two faces, a water-loving head and a grease-loving tail. The tails burrow into the grease while the heads face outward. Together they wrap each droplet into a micelle, a sphere with an oily core and a water-friendly shell. Now water can grip it, and a simple rinse carries the whole package away. One clever molecule bridging two liquids that would otherwise never touch. That's the quiet genius hiding in every bar of soap and every drop of dish liquid. Not a solvent that dissolves the mess, but a matchmaker that wraps it up and hands it gently to the water. So the next time the suds swirl down the drain, you'll know exactly what just happened in there. This has been the Cutaway. Stay curious and we'll slice something else open very soon.